button.
Hello, and welcome back to Stars in the Dark, Series 2, Episode 2. I guess we're calling this. Last session was mainly character and crew creation. Now we're going to actually play for a bit, other than the little bit of legwork that we did before the mission. I have the wishes here. I just realized now that I didn't check them before. We'll see. Rich hopes this job is more than following a guy around. We'll see if you'll be happy with that part. Steven, get to know the characters a bit more and see some action. Mark, interactions between pairs of characters, like seeing them interact with each other. And Kai wanted more descriptions of locations. That is something I will try to do a better job of. I know that's not my strong suit, but I will endeavor to improve.
Well, it's really dark on 1313, so I understand. Like, hard to see.
I know you can't do it for this session,
shadows.
but I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that until I heard it again out loud. But what about I think before, Anders, you had made like little section, an area tab, and there were whole sections, and that little description in the picture were fantastic. Kai, was that kind of along the lines of what you were thinking?
Yeah, and then the occasional like detail that just kind of adds an element to it.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely. The problem with the location tab was that for character pictures, it's quite easy to get them in a standardized format, but for locations, they can be like anything, so it's more difficult. But yeah, that is a good suggestion. I will try to put something useful in for that as well. But for now, I'll try to be just a bit more verbal regarding that part. Cool. So we did the engagement roll last session, and you did very well on that. So you'll be starting in a controlled position, which means you have good opportunities to try different things. If something doesn't work, it doesn't mean you're in immediate trouble. But we will see how that works out. I think how this starts is that whoever of you is currently watching what would you call it? Like the exits from the where the ferries arrive from the higher levels. Whoever is doing that, and you get to decide, immediately spots this Zeldek Gessel, and yeah, you didn't get a crit, so you're not past your first.
I'm misunderstood.
Yeah, cool.
Or forgot.
But you did get a 6, so you're in a control position. Yeah. Whoever is there spots this Zeldek Gessel, the Twi'lek, and his droid, Rick, his droid assistant, who has a smuggling compartment in his right leg. So yeah, who is there? Who's watching like the comings and goings to try to spot this guy? It's let's say a week later after you do. Hi, Winger, you raised your hand.
I think so.
Yeah, I reckon L3T's there too.
Yeah, cool. So you two are there watching, and as usual with this, anyone can jump in at any moment and say, "Oh yeah, and this is where I can do whatever." So you spot him. He's checked by the customs people as usual. Nothing special, except that his droid Rick is dragging like 2 huge what do you call them? Not crates, cases, like big like the ocean liner sort of
Trunks, yeah.
trunks. They're on like some small hover sleds, so it's not like he's actually dragging them on the ground, but these things are really big. You could fit like a whole person in one of them easy. And the custom officials, they like do some quick scan of them. They don't open them. They just scan them, and then they're waved through. So you can see them. They don't know you're there, and they seem to be going towards Emerald Row, the entertainment district. It's nearby. They pass through, and they think there are some like they get. Oh yeah, right. Sorry, I forgot. They're using these. This is on the NPCs tab, the transport walker, and these are like ATSTs. Formerly military ATSTs. They like cut off the top and put in a platform for people to sit in.
They're like double-decker buses.
Yeah. So they're using them as transport between the docks and other nearby areas. So I think
our job is just to follow and report, right?
Yeah, that's your handler was very clear that you should not make contact. Whether you think that's the best approach, that's up to you. But that's what he's told. He wants to know where this guy goes, who he talks to, what he's doing here, all of that. You know from Winger's contact that he usually, or all the times that she had notes or data from his comings and goings, he stays for a couple of days. So it's unlikely that all this luggage is just his necessities for the trip. Yeah.
He's just got a lot of costume changes.
Could be. Yeah, so they get on this transport walker. Winger and I keep forgetting what we're supposed to call you.
L3T is fine, or Elliot, yeah.
Elliot, right.
Depending on how familiar they want to be.
Yeah, I just try to remember what I'm supposed to call you.
Mr. 2455 is my father. Can we keep up with the walker on foot, or will we need like either a vehicle or to get on?
You can probably keep up with it if you have like a shortcut you can use. It definitely moves faster than you do on foot, but it also has to follow like a specific path. You can't have it just trampling around where there's people. So they have it's a special route it takes, and it stops like at a couple of specific places. So it's not going in a straight path, but you don't know where he's getting off.
Right.
So
and it's like a public transport. It's not a private thing, right?
Yeah. This is like a public transport thing.
I'd be okay getting on board. What about Winger?
Well, I've got short legs. But we've known about this walker, right? So
yeah,
maybe we get on before he gets on
the possible routes. So it's not like I have to watch it and move. I can start going through back alleys and stuff like that to get to certain junction points if necessary. So maybe we're just doing a buddy system of like, all right, I'm in place C. When you lose sight of them, you move to place D, or just something like that, where it's just eyes always on kind of thing.
Yeah, this is like a zero cost flashback that you have prepared for. If he gets on the walker, then we will be here and here, and just pass the information.
Someone keep eyes on him. Yeah.
Make sure someone always has eyes on him.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think I still want some kind of role for that.
I can do a
So
hunt.
you can do a hunt, you can do a survey,
And I
you
can
can do
assist.
something else, but hunt works.
Or we could do a team action or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. Let's do a team action. You want me to lead a hunt for you?
Yeah, let's do that. I'll take your instructions.
Yeah. 2 dice is fine, probably. Yeah, let's go 2 dice and see what happens.
Cool.
Oops. There's a 4 for me.
And Winger, what's your hunt?
Just a sec.
1 die.
Yeah. There's no dice. I clicked on it.
There's nothing showing up, so maybe.
No,
maybe
I clicked the wrong
Oh,
die.
okay.
Two.
Yeah, there it is. A 2.
Right.
That's 1 stress for me.
So 1 stress for you, but your result is a 4. For a control position, that means you can withdraw and try a different approach, or you can do it and suffer consequence. Minor complication, reduced effect, lesser harm, your position becomes risky. I think here it's like a minor complication. I think maybe this is like Winger, you become winded, so you get like what would that be, like a level 1 harm, I guess. Yeah, a level 1 harm, winded.
Okay.
Which you can resist or you can take it. If you take it, it means you have reduced effect on things where that matters.
Okay. I'll resist. My lowest is prowess with 1 die.
Well, you choose which one you.
Oh,
you
okay.
resist.
I'm sorry. That's
Yeah,
vices.
that's for recovery.
It's only been how long?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
How do I resist not?
I mean, it could be prowess because, oh, I'm actually quite fit. So short legs doesn't matter. It could be insight that oh, I know he's going to go that way, so I take this path. It's not as strenuous.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you roll 4 dice.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
And take the highest, and 6 minus your highest.
Oh, don't get a crit.
Well, actually, crit is good. Then you recover.
Yeah, that'll give you stress back.
Yeah. High is good for this.
That's what I'm saying. Like I would anyway, I don't have any stress. So let's see.
You would waste your crit.
Oh, okay. I thought I would overindulge or something like that.
No, there's no overindulgence on resistance.
Gotcha. It's been a long time. I got a 6.
Yeah, you got a 6, so no stress. You're fine. You use shortcuts. You use your maybe use your short stature to advantage. Like you can slink through in some places. And this,
I just imagine going through like markets and stuff like that, and I'm like ducking below where stuff like that, and the audience gets tired just watching me like move around here, there, and everywhere. But it's second nature, at least right here in this area.
So this is kind of this is like the transition between the docks and Emerald Row. It's it's a bit touristy. Like you said, markets, and these aren't the markets that people who live here go to. This is like the tourist market.
Yeah.
So it's overpriced, and there's a lot of tat for sale, and some shady places that are quite openly advertised, and it's not as dirty and smelly as parts of 1313 are. It's a bit cleaned up, but it's still like it's a cheap touristy place rather than a nice touristy place or
Right.
terribly dilapidated place. Yeah, you dart through some of these markets, and this route that the walkers use, it's separated from the usual traffic, but it's set up so that you get some nice views to the extent that there are nice views here, but you get good views of like the places that you can go to. Yeah. And the other traffic here is mostly foot traffic, and then like the regular vehicle traffic is in tunnels and that sort of thing, so that people can walk through here. Yeah. Cool. So you see where he gets off. It's some ways into Emerald Row. Zeldek and the droid get off. They go to it's a hotel. It's like not the worst place, but it's not a good place. It's pretty. It's a building. It's like one step up from having boards over the windows. And it's you probably, if this was not Star Wars, you'd bring your own sheets because yeah. And there's a big neon sign outside that just says hotel. Yeah. So that's where they are going in. You still have them in clear view. What's the next step? Do you just stand outside and watch? Do you go inside? Do you go talk to someone?
Maybe one of us stay outside, one go in.
Well, that's the thing, is you and I are both rather distinctive.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of droids. I've got a fake restraining bolt, so that's.
But you don't have like your weapons on you, right?
You know what? We didn't choose load, did we?
Yeah, that's true. You should choose load.
I'll choose medium load or normal load. Yeah, so I probably have some weapons on me, but they're probably not like super obvious. I'm not.
But in this neighborhood, that would be good. Yeah, I think it would be better.
Just be like a security droid.
Yeah. I don't know how. Let's assume that they're pretty common. So either of us should be able to, but maybe I do.
It's the usual thing. If you have light load, then you're in like street clothes. You look like a normal person. Medium load, people can tell that you're packing, that sort of thing, or carrying gear. So you don't look like you're just out for a stroll. And in heavy load, then you're looking for trouble. That's basically what you look like.
Let me hang out outside then if you want to go in. You're probably less distinctive.
I'm going to use my comm link that I have here to at least message KZ and say, because I'm sure there was like we got it down to a finite list of places we think, like hotels we think that this guy would go to. So
yeah,
you know, I don't know if, but anyway, I everybody on the line would hear, but I imagine that KZ would want to know. Yeah, so I head in. Is it like slummy inside, or
it's cheap. It's not particularly clean, but it's not like it's not where you'd expect to like find needles on the floor or something. It's still it's not exactly respectable, but it's not a complete dive either. There's the little counter, and I think the person behind the counter is are they called Basilisk? I think the big four-armed aliens.
Mm.
Oh, like Dex's Diner, that guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I will have an image in a moment. If just Pinterest can stop being troublesome, I will put it in the chat and then I'll put it in the keeper. Now it says my internet connection is unstable, so we'll see. Like that guy.
Huh.
Oh, hey, little guy, you want a room?
All right, let me look at my character sheet real quick. I have sway.
And of course, there's the Basilisk name gen.
And I get 2 free stress per score to spend on assist, so that won't help. So what is my MO here? So what do y'all think about posing as some sort of like bureaucracy that's looking for unbolted droids or something? Like, I'm not sure how to say it, but like coming in and saying, yeah, I've been following that guy for a while. Or I could do another thing and be just like, I'm here to check out your droids, just like it was like I don't know, like a restaurant rating or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like some sort of pseudo official thing that would get me like either access or ignored or something.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
You're there to inspect the droid.
Okay, sure. I mean, that I'm good at that. So where I live in North Carolina, many years ago, this woman, Sherry Berry, figured out that if she puts her name on the card that the elevator technician signs when they've done the inspection, that she would get a lot more votes. And it turns out it's right. I don't know. So our elevators always have the pictures of like the department of whatever. But yeah, so yep, it's according to my records, it's time for your droid inspections. I made I got an appointment here. Is that not in your system?
No, no one told me about this. If
They
you
never
want, yeah, sorry.
They never tell guys like us, right?
Yeah, tell me about it. And if you want to have what looks like official records, you have documents in your possible equipment, so you can actually have something that at least looks official if you want to.
Okay.
If you don't want to just straight up bluff your way past this.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to try to take up much of your time. I'm just going to go and confirm the same thing we do every time. Nothing's changed, but so like I show them the sheets and I show like previous sign-offs and stuff like that. And it's like as soon as we're done, you can just scribble something here. We'll be good to go. Or whatever they do in Star Wars for signing things.
No idea, but yeah, did you want to have a document or did you want to just?
Yeah, I was thinking about having some sort of
yeah, cool. And
document.
he looks at it and he's yeah, okay, this looks fine. So he's not clearly not particularly bothered.
Okay.
So yeah, he just waves you, waves you.
I'll be out of your, he's gonna say hair, arms, and just a GIF.
Yeah, just you know, if you find something that's not up to code, just let me know. So I can fix it before like the boss hears about it.
Oh yeah. I don't want to fill out the paperwork for something that's not up to code. I will definitely let you get to that first. And I guess I head on in. But I guess my goal is still to get like eyes on our guy, or at least what room they're in. So I'm just going to try to find some sort of, machine in the system that's hooked to the system that he doesn't see me messing around with while I'm inside trying to get like who's staying in which rooms, or which pseudonyms are for which rooms and stuff like that. So
Sure. Sounds like a study maybe.
oh, okay.
Unless you really want to roll something else.
No, that sounds appropriate.
But I think at this point, this is probably risky because here something could go wrong. Does
Sure.
that make sense?
Sure. Like the system's like, you're not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah. So you can push yourself and get the devil's bargain, or you can just roll your 2 dice.
I'll roll my 2 dice.
Cool. And your standard effect.
Okay, I got a 5.
You get a 5, so you do it with a consequence. So I think, yeah, you get a readout of who is staying in which room. So you know what room he is. He's on the 3rd floor, like at the end of the corridor. And the consequence is that this guy at the counter is going to realize that you did something you weren't supposed to do, but not right away. He will find out whenever he checks the system, he will know that you were poking at things you weren't supposed to be, which will probably be the next time someone checks in or checks out, which could be in a few minutes, it could be a few hours. You don't know.
But I can resist that if I want.
You can resist if you want to, yeah.
Okay. Maybe tinker to like change something in the system.
You resist with the attributes, not the specific. So
okay. Yeah, no, I'm definitely
resist.
Yeah, insight definitely for this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
You realize beforehand that if I do it this way,
oh yeah, my fingerprints.
I just need, if I close this thing, and yeah.
All right.
So you take 1 stress.
I got 1 3 and 3 5s.
Yeah. So 1 stress, but he won't know. He won't know that you were messing around with stuff you weren't supposed to.
So I was going to find out if like there's a room that shares a wall with his that we could set up in.
And yeah, absolutely. You know exactly where he's positioned, so you can, and you know that the room next to his is not occupied.
Okay. Well, that's great luck then. So I think it's time to hand it off to some other people. I'm going to go start setting up the room. So have at it.
Someone could just check in to that room, and someone who's not you, probably.
Oh yeah.
That'll probably be KZ and myself, right?
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
I think Winger, whenever you said you put in a call to KZ, the two of us are kind of like the backup. We're sort of
Mhm.
like on call waiting for you guys to call, and I think now's the right time for us to arrive, and we'll get on the comms with you since you're, the point man inside, and say, hey, what's going on? Oh yeah, we can go in and check in that room.
Yeah, I give them like a small, like a very simple hollow blueprint, and just give them some glowing dots to look at, and go to the one with the flashing dot.
Elliot, do you or KZ want to go in with me to check into the room?
Are you asking me to be a porter?
I think I'm asking you if you might be able to listen to them better than I can.
Hmm. Would I be able to listen? I could, yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I have the.
KZ, how about you? Do you want to? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, go for it. Go for it.
I'm
KZ,
not
do you
sure.
wanna go in?
Yeah. I'm not sure what's wrong with Elliot's decision-making protocols. We're gonna have to tweak his programming. It's
Stupid
weird.
fuck nuts. Who knows what's
No.
going on with them?
You're not wrong.
I was thinking like watch the doors in case like something goes wrong and someone makes a run for it.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Watch the doors. If the doors run away, make sure you take them down.
Yep.
Cool. So Rook and KZ, you come to the you arrive in KZ's speeder, I assume. Or we don't need to specify that if you don't want to, but you arrive at the hotel, check into this room next door to Zelda. Well, did I understand that correctly?
Yep.
That's what you want to do.
Sounds perfect. Walk up to the front desk, talk to the basilisk, haggle a little bit about the room, go right up.
Oh, you sure you want that room? But yeah, okay. It's not bad or anything, or it's not worse than any of the other rooms. Just unusual. Someone wants a specific room, but that's fine. I'll get you everything.
It's our anniversary.
Oh,
We want that
oh, you've
room.
been here before.
Yeah. Well, not under these names, but these names are new. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Right.
I know.
Yeah. We're together. The two of us, an anniversary. I'm the young one. She's my old candy lady.
Cougar.
Shut your mouth.
Cougar.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks, Winger.
I'm not going to ask any questions. You just have fun. Yeah. The room is small, cramped. It is a double bed, but it's like as narrow as you can get and still call it a bed for two people. That sort of a vibe. Very cramped, but yeah, not absolutely filthy. It has been cleaned.
This is good. This is great. We can just shove those together.
So I think what I'm going to do is whenever I get up to the room, I'm going to tick off I took a normal load. I'm going to tick off my subterfuge supplies, which I think would be something along the lines of like a little camera or a listening device. I'll reach out,
Actually, there's some notes on what is what there. The subterfuge
Oh, okay, that's
supplies.
like masks and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But I think, yeah, there isn't. That's a good point, actually. There's no real surveillance equipment here. There probably should be.
Makes sense. Yeah, we should
Yeah.
probably tweak something like that into the.
Yeah, I will add something like that. For now, just check the macro binoculars, and we'll say that I will replace that with surveillance equipment.
I feel like that
Right.
was in the
Um,
old version. Maybe I could just go look in there in the
I
old
don't
character cube.
think so, but please go.
Yeah,
have a look.
I'll go snoop around in there.
Well, aren't the loads different for different character classes?
They
So
are.
maybe it's on some class and not on other.
It could be that there's a specific class that has something, but I don't think that would have been Rich's gun hand. But
What? But it seems so
Um,
right up my alley.
yeah. So, but I think basically this isn't a super subtle thing. This is kind of like a little uh recording device, practically a toy that I just kind of either lean out the window or put a hand through like a crack in the wall and just attach outside so that we can see if we can't hear what's going on inside the other room or maybe see what's going on.
yeah, cool. Make a roll for that. See how well you get that set up.
Let's see. Prowl, if it's trying to prevent from being seen or caught doing that. If it's the
Yeah.
tech, it might be tinker.
Yeah. Either works.
What do you think this is?
It's up to you. I think either of those works.
I'm helping.
Cool.
I'd like
You have
I'd like a
that.
slightly better I'd like a slightly better quality, so maybe we get an image or something better than just scratchy audio. So I'll go with tinker.
Cool.
And I'm getting help from KZ. I think KZ is like holding on to me to make sure I don't fall out the window or something like that. That sound good?
That sounds great. I have a hold of your like belt loop and your hip as you continue to lean forward.
Yep.
And I'm totally staring at your butt. But you don't know.
That is a yeah.
If
So
you
that
look
is a
back,
crit.
I'm like, what?
Oh wow,
What
that's a
happens?
roll. Yeah, you crit
Nice.
that. Yeah, it's not just like that you can put it on like in the corner of the window. You actually manage to get it like at the center of the window, and it's just peeking in beside like a divider in the middle. So you get a full view straight into the room. You can see everything that's going on in there, unless they're like standing in the corner, like intentionally hiding themselves from the window. But otherwise, you can see exactly what's going on there. And what's currently going on is that the Twi'lek is like pacing, while the droid is he has one of the cases open. And here I'm going to make a fortune roll to see. I'm going to roll 2 dice because you got a crit there. The higher I get, the more you can see of the case. That's a 5. So it's kind of standing sideways. So a little bit, so you can't see like straight into what's in there. But you can see that he has opened it up, and you see him like lifting out what seems to be like a false bottom or something. It's like a thin cover that has some clothes and some sort of some what looks like travel stuff that's just glued to like a board or a I don't know what you call it, a plate that's covering what's actually inside, and he lifts that out. So it's clearly something else that's inside there. And what you can see is that it looks like metal cases, but you don't know what's inside. But it has it's like 2 by 4 of these metal cases. He lifts one of them up, so it's about like this size, about a foot cube. Yeah, he lifts one of them up, just seems to just inspect it, And you wanted audio as well, right? Or did you
Oh,
just
yes.
set this up for? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you hear them talking, and Zeldek is, "Oh, can I leave now? Can I leave now?" And the droid says, "Yes, the goods are in safe condition. You may leave."
And this droid that's
Zeldek,
speaking is Rick?
yeah.
Okay.
Who is supposed to be Zeldek's like servant, helper, something. They're
Right.
definitely not speaking to
Mhm.
each other in that according to that relation. So Zeldek
Right.
like throws up his arms. "Oh, finally!" And he walks out of the room, and the droid continues to like inspect these metal cases that have some readouts on them. And those you can't see. You don't have quite that level of detail that you can see what the actual readouts are, but you can see that there are readouts. There's something that's reading green and something that looks like a power level or something, but you're not entirely sure.
So I'm gonna radio down to Elliot and Winger and say,
Mhm.
okay, I've got eyes on Zeldek. Zeldek's leaving, but it seems like it might be Rick that's in charge. Casey and I are gonna continue in the room. We've seen a transfer of goods through a fake case. And I'll just snap a picture and send like a little hollow thing so it'll pop up and they can see what the case looks like as it's rotating. Um,
Sure.
so we should probably, since it's the job, follow Zeldek and see where he goes. But
Yeah.
I think KZ and I will stay here on Rick to see, if we can't figure out more about what's going on.
Yeah, I'm on Zeldek as soon as he walks out.
Cool. We're almost on the hour, so I think we'll take a break here.
Cool.
So let's take 10 minutes and be back at 5 past. Yeah, so we are back. Yeah, like I said, Zeldek is leaving, and was it Elliot and Winger who was going to follow him? Or just Elliot?
Definitely at least me.
Well, I mean, I've hooked up Rook with like the room and all that kind of stuff. And actually, what I'll be working on is in case like Rick tries to leave, like maybe the ability to like prevent doors from opening or something like that. Just finding exits and being anti-fire code kind of thing. In case
Cool. We'll come back to that.
Okay. Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, cool. But you're staying at the hotel.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
Elliot, you're following Zeldek.
Zeldek.
He calls up, or actually, he's walking. He's on foot, and he seems to be going. He's like he's got a good pace. He's going to a specific place. He's not just wandering around. He's going somewhere specific.
Does he look stressed, or what's his demeanor?
No, he looks very relaxed and
Cool.
content, as far as you can tell. He's not like looking over his shoulder or anything like that. He doesn't seem to be rushed, but it seems like he's going somewhere with a purpose.
Yeah, just continue to follow at a respectful distance.
Yeah,
maybe not that respectful.
Let's have a roll for following. And now you're in a control position. There's no like immediate risk.
I feel like that would be prowl because I don't want to be noticed.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I'll just go 2 dice straight up there. Keyboard to work. There we go. Yeah. 2 dice. 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 That's a 4.
4 on a control position means you can withdraw and try a different approach, or do it and suffer a minor consequence.
I'll take the consequence if that's a thing.
Yeah, I think in this case, what could be complication here? I think you've been noticed by some street sec patrol. They're not going to stop you and harass you or anything, but they will notice that, oh, there's a droid walking around unaccompanied here.
Right.
And I mean, you look the way you look, so they're going to notice that you're around.
Yeah.
And like keep an eye
I
out.
do have my my fake restraining bolt on.
Yeah. So that's the consequence. So either you withdraw, or you take that consequence, or you resist the consequence.
If I notice them noticing me, I'll like catch their eye and nod. Like, I recognize you. Game recognized game.
Cool. So you just take the consequence.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So he's clearly knows where he's going. Goes down like not a back alley, but like a side street, and in on a. It's like a kind of like a courtyard, and there's one place to go there other than like residences. And you notice right away when you go in there that this is a Gamorrean area. You see Gamorrean living there, and it's their style of living spaces, which I imagine they're fairly like open. They don't have like a lot of closed windows and that sort of thing. They have like openings into this courtyard. So there's kind of a transitional area between being outside and being inside. So you will definitely like be noticeable when you go in there, but you also see that there is some foot traffic going here. It seems like whatever place he's going to, there are other people going there as well.
And it looks like a residence he's going to.
No, it's a bigger opening, and there's like a bouncer type guy standing outside, a Gamorrean, like not loincloth like that sort of thing, but he's got pants on, but he's otherwise he's like half naked, big belly, standing there and clearly like checking people as they're going.
Cool. Yeah, I'll watch him go in and then wait a beat and then see what happens when I try to enter.
Yeah. So he goes in, and the Gamorrean, it seems like they know each other. They like exchange a few phrases. You can't hear exactly what they're saying, but they seem to be maybe not exactly friendly, but at least they know each other. And the Zeldek like slips him a few credits in actual cash, and like gets a nod and a slap on the back as he walks in. So you try to enter, and this Gamorrean like gets up in front of you. Well, what are you doing here?
I was told to come here and pick something up.
Pick something up? We don't do deliveries here. You come for the fight?
You could say that.
Yeah, well, okay. Sure. Go in then. And he just steps aside and waves you in.
Great. Let's see what's inside.
Yeah. So it's this is like kind of like a tunnel down. You're going down lower. And you get into this. It's a fighting ring. It's like a open space. like a domed ceiling, fairly big place, noisy, and there's a cage, like a circular cage in the middle, and there's a couple of Gamorreans down there, and they're kind of like not. It doesn't look like a serious fight. They're kind of sparring a bit, unarmed. And there's a lot of people, all kinds of different species, looking on. There's clearly betting going on, people getting drinks. So yeah, it's that place.
Great. Do I see?
Oh, Zeldek.
Yep,
Yeah. He's getting a drink. He's talking to people that he clearly know, and he's seems to be friendly with people here. There's a lot of Gamorreans, but it's like maybe 2/3 other species.
Cool.
You see maybe 1 or 2 droids, and they seem to mostly be like accompanying other people. So you're the only one here who is an unaccompanied droid.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep Zeldek in sight and come back. Like, he's engaged. He's attending an underground fight, literally underground. I'll keep an eye on him. Let me know if anything changes on your end. To everybody.
Cool. So let's cut back to, I think we'll go to KZ. So Rook has set up this camera. You have a feed set up. You can see what's going on inside the room. You've seen the droid Rick inspect these metal cases in the trunk. He's doing the same thing in the other trunk. It's the same packing there. There was like a small bag that seems to be Zeldek stuff. He's just put that on one of the beds. And otherwise, it's these metal cases. So there's like 2 layers in each of these big trunks. So there's like 16 in one trunk and maybe 14 in the other, making room for that bag. So there's like 30 cases. All of them have this readout on the front that he's checked. There's a green light and something that looks like a power bar.
Wow. Brooke's in here with me, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Brooke. We could just go in, take this droid out, and see what that stuff is.
You're young. Look, if they had opened the thing and there'd been a bunch of credits in there, I'd be right there with you. But for all we know, this could be, something we can't fence. So until then, we follow the job that gets us paid.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Do you want to find out, do you have a suggestion about how to find out what's in there? Go knock on the door.
I mean, shooting the droid and looking was exactly my idea about how to find out what's in there, but I get you. It's probably not the best call. Man, I don't know. Okay. We could stun him. No, this is okay. It's the same idea, just said different ways.
Okay. One of the things we could do is we could go talk to the to the guy at the front desk and tell him that we heard some noises like someone was dying in there. And then we can just make a report. Just call down and say someone's dying in the room next to us. You might want to clean it up. And as soon as they go in, maybe we'll be able to see more about what's going on. It just kind of is obvious that who called in the report.
Sure.
While you're talking, he's packing these cases up. He's closing them again, and now he seems to be talking on his comms, and he is calling someone and setting up a meet. Yes, come pick me up at the usual place.
Well, in that case, if he's packed up, KZ, and we took too long, and we're not going to be able to catch him red-handed. But now we have a meat place.
Okay, so
Why
we
don't
just
you go
break
down
off.
and get the car started?
Yeah.
And if you see him leave, don't let him get away. I'll be down as soon as I can. But I'm not going to make it obvious that he's being followed.
Okay. All right, I'm on it.
So Winger, you're also still at the hotel. I assume they have you patched in on comms, keep you updated on what's happening. Did you want to try to prevent Rick from leaving, or do you want to let this play out?
Well, the more I thought about it, any interaction from us could deviate the knowledge we would want to get, which is like what happens when no one knows what's going on, right? As opposed to them being like, oh, I should be even more paranoid or something like that. But also, I'm in for a good spectacle. So when Elliot tells me that there's an underground match going on, I'm like bugging him like, hey, who's the headliner? What's the stakes? You know, is it like a
It's a bunch of Gamorreans playing slap ass.
professional slap ass?
It's hard for me to say what's amateur and what's professional in that respect.
Okay. So whatever I was thinking about doing at the moment, I got distracted by half naked Gamorreans. But what I would like to do is, if nothing else, while I have access, whatever cameras are inside the hotel, just follow the progress of the individual and be like, if they're taking, if the droid's like taking an elevator or taking the stairs or crashing through a window or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think they have like security cameras here. This is too downscale for that.
Gotcha.
But you can follow him, like just Rook Rook lets you know when he leaves the room. You know that he's going to the elevator. You can like see the elevator go down. You can be where you want to be in respect to when he comes down. It takes him a while because he has to, even if these huge cases are on, or trunks are on like mini hover sleds, they're still like big and awkward to maneuver, so it takes them a while to get into the elevator.
I know what I want to do then. Assuming that the elevator is within sight of the front desk, is time it so that like I'm finishing up the quote unquote paperwork with my guy, and then I see a lone droid walk out, and I'm like, hey, I didn't know about this one. Is this yours?
Oh no, that's one of the guests. He's here a lot.
Oh, huh. I just figured they find a warehouse to sit in or something. Anyway, thank you. This has all been taken care of, and appreciate all of that. Hey, but what do you mean by often? Isn't that a little weird?
I don't know. It's that it's a Twi'lek who brings him, but they the Twi'lek guy, he doesn't spend a lot of time here. He goes out, and I don't know what he does. But the droid there, he brings these big cases, big trunks, and then he goes away for the day, and then he comes back without them. I don't know what he does, but then he just sits in the room.
Huh. Well, hope your shift doesn't go on for much longer, and I'll just like try to naturally walk out along, like not like side by side with Rick, but
Yeah.
just keeping an eye.
And Rook, you wanted to follow Rick when he left the room, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to keep
Cool.
eyes on him, and I'm going to basically, I don't want to be seen, so I'm going to leave a little bit after he does.
Yeah.
And KZ's down with a car ready. So if Rick takes off in a vehicle or something like that, we can follow him, behind.
Yeah. So this, I think I want to make a roll here to see if you can coordinate all of this without getting seen and that sort of thing. So I think this is a group action, at least for Winger and Rook, maybe KZ if you want to be part of this as well. Like just following Rick, making sure you're not seen, but keeping him in sight, that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'll lead that.
Cool.
Let's call this a prowl action.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Let me roll that.
And this is controlled position. He has no reason to suspect that anyone's onto him or anything.
Okay, I rolled a 6.
Nice.
It's 2 stress to push yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you push on a group? I guess you can.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
can push, but you can't aid each other within the group role. But you can push.
And I'm sorry, what's the action we chose? Sorry.
It's a
Prowl.
prowl. But if you push yourself, it's 2 stress to yourself. But if you fail, it's 1 stress to me. So it's not nearly
Yeah.
as bad.
It's not really. I don't think it's worth pushing yourself when you already have a 6.
Got a 4.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to do it before I knew there was a 6, so I was just trying to stick with the, not meta
No,
on that.
it's fine to do the mechanically advantageous thing here. I don't think you need to.
Wow, I suck.
So that just means that Rook has to do something to cover for you. Rook takes 1 stress for the fail roll from Winger. So Rook, what is it you do that gets Winger out of being noticed here?
Yeah. So I think that we are head down in the elevator, and I think that the droid took a little bit longer, but I got in the elevator first. And I think that we stop at we go down and we stop, and Winger steps in, and I kind of, I think that would make it too obvious. I think that Rick might suspect something, so I kind of say, "We don't like your kind in here," and I shove you back out.
Cool. How dare you?
Cool. So Winger, you're forced to take the stairs down instead. So you go down, you have this conversation with the guy at the front desk. Follow Rick outside. He's getting picked up in an open top land speeder by by a group of Aqualish. You have one of them on the entities tab. They look like not quite like gangers, but kind of. They're clearly a group. They're fairly young. They're kind of loud, and they're and KZ, you can see that they have done some work on this speeder. It's the equivalent of a lowrider, I guess, for a land speeder. It's got kind of a tilt to it, so that it looks cool to some people. At least that they're losing fuel efficiency and all of that stuff. They don't care about that. They care about looking cool. They've got some. I don't know if you would have racing stripes in Star Wars, but the similar vibe. And they greet Rick. They clearly know each other, and they have it. They don't have like a proper what would you say, like storage luggage compartment or anything. But they have they kind of strap these cases onto the back, just strap them on to directly to like the frame of the speeder. So it tilts even further from all the weight on the back. One of them kind of half sits on top of the trunks, looking around. They are carrying blaster pistols, but they're not like heavily armed, but they are armed. Yeah, and they take off.
So whenever I come out, I kind of get in the way a little bit and kind of shove my way through, and like I'm walking here, and I walk over where KZ is, and I loudly start negotiating like a fare, like, I'll give you this small amount to take me over here. What? That's not enough, and I do it loudly enough so that they know. Yeah, seems normal.
Yeah, they don't pay you a lot of attention. Like one of the acolytes says something rude, but then they take off. They're going back towards the docks. Do you all get in and follow, or how do you want to play that?
I absolutely get in with KZ.
Winger?
So how big is it? Big enough to have 3 people in it? Sorry, I'm kind of
Oh, yeah.
imagining like
We're in I have a picture of it in the KZ area down on row 62. It is called the Chariot.
Okay.
Ooh, look at that.
It's nice.
That's
and
pretty
it's
sleek looking.
I
We got to tag
love
that
it.
shit up to make it look worse.
No, I love it. I take care of it. But yeah, totally can take your tiny ass with me.
Okay.
You could sit on my lap if you want. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not like, 2 engines held to something by duct tape.
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Although I've flown those. They're pretty great. Don't knock it till you try it.
It's just the only one I could think of off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't imagine there being any advantage to me staying on foot at this point. So yeah. I surreptitiously join you.
Cool.
Surreptitious.
I don't even know if I use the right word there, but anyway.
They take off towards the docks. You follow. I want to see a roll from KZ here to follow them without being too obvious about it.
I'm going to help you. I give you directions.
Nice.
So what do you want to roll?
Even though it's not my physical body, prowl feels like a thing, but yeah, subtle no. Handle a vehicle or mount is finesse. So I think I'll go with finesse.
Yeah,
okay.
Cool.
Finesse plus help is 3 dice.
Yeah.
It says that you're nimble. Do you have that, or am I confused here?
The vehicle
Nimble,
is
simple, sturdy.
it's sturdy, but
Okay.
That's just edges you choose.
Okay.
I actually chose the edge of sturdy. So this the stuff in yellow is rules for it. This is the actual.
Oh, I see. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sturdy and finicky.
Oh, two ones, and luckily, Rook's help pushed me to a 4.
Yeah.
I should have asked for a devil's bargain. What am I even doing? I forgot this is a game where stuff happens.
You're in a control position. Standard effect. So this is either withdraw or you do it and suffer a consequence. I think, not sure what suitable consequence would be here? Do you have a suggestion for something? Oh, actually,
Further away.
Actually, I think your position will become risky because you draw some attention to yourself. Draw some attention to yourself. They have seen you before. They have seen this vehicle now, so you're a bit more obvious. They haven't spotted you yet, but the more you follow them, the greater the risk that, oh, we've seen that same speeder 3 or 4 times now. Something's going on.
She's too pretty. She's notable.
Yeah. Do you want to resist that, or do you suck it up and take it?
I think I'll suck it up and take it. That seems interesting to me. And I want to see what comes next.
Cool. So let's cut back to Elliot for a bit.
Yeah.
You're in the fighting ring, and they're starting to call an actual match instead of just this sparring that's been going on. It's still from the mild enthusiasm of the crowd. You can tell that these aren't like the headliners. It's a warm-up act, that sort of thing. But they're doing some sort of Gamorrean unarmed wrestling, and it's not like fully like pro wrestling, fake wrestling, but there is an element of show to it. Like they're doing fancy moves and not just punching each other and getting into holds and that sort of thing.
Right.
So they are throwing each other against the wall, and they're like doing some, to the extent that Gamorreans are acrobatic, they're doing some acrobatics, that sort of thing. They're doing some rolls and that sort of thing. But there's some slap ass. It's just it's not, they're not primarily trying to hurt each other. They're more like trying to put on a good show while trying to, like, the more they get towards the end, the more they're actually trying to like get a good hold and get a submission. It's more that sort of thing than punching the other person unconscious.
Right.
And there are some people cheering. The Gamorreans get more into it than the others. There doesn't seem to be a lot of betting on this. There's nothing on the official board, but there are clearly some people making minor bets with each other just for entertainment than anything.
Yeah. I think I'll try to get like Seidel up closer to Zeldek. Maybe like if I can get like a seat behind and to the one side of him. Like see, like, is he into it, or is he for the match, or is he here for something else? I guess.
Yeah. Cool. Let's have a roll for that.
Yeah.
What do you want to go for?
It's probably a study.
Sure.
Right.
You have 0 in study, so that's
yeah. It's a study for him. It's if I adjust a little bit, if I do a survey and like check out the area, maybe not necessarily him, like see if there's anyone paying attention to him, maybe.
Yeah, cool.
You know what kind of devil's bargains do you have?
You will have to, they will expect you to be buying drinks or the like. So there was no like surcharge to get in, but I mean, if you're not spending money, they don't want you there.
Excellent. Yeah.
And I don't think you have like that amount of creds on you, probably because you don't have any money right now.
Right.
So you'll have to deal with that, not right away, but they will be unhappy that you're there and not spending anything.
Yeah, I'll take that. That sounds great.
Cool.
So that'll be 2 dice.
Actually, let me do it this way. I'm going to start a clock for you.
Nice.
That is, Elliot gets kicked out. And putting that as a
2-drink minimum.
I'm kicking, and putting 1 tick on that.
Awesome. 2 dice will get me a 5.
5. Yeah. You're in a controlled position here. So withdraw and try a different approach. I'm not sure how much sense that makes. Minor complication here, I think. Or I think this is also your position becomes risky because you are getting closer to him. You're hanging around. You're clearly watching. So
awesome.
you can resist that, or you can just accept that.
I'll take the risky.
Yeah. So what you do notice is that he's friendly with a lot of people here. He's drinking a lot. He seems to be having a great time. He's enjoying his time here, and he gets into the matches and he's cheering a bit and that sort of thing. So clearly he doesn't seem to be looking for anyone in particular. He calls out to some people that he seems to know. But he seems to be here to have a good time. That seems to be what he's doing.
I think that I lean forward and just like ask him, who do you like for the main event?
Oh, yeah. Clearly, I need the name.
The big one.
Yeah. Skog for sure. Skog he's beaten everyone for 3 weeks straight. That's what they're telling me.
You don't think he's getting tired?
You know this. I've seen him. You've seen Skog fight. Skog is Oh, sorry, this spell. He's like a machine, a machine. And he points to me. He doesn't seem too smart. This Twi'lek. He's a bit drunk. He's clearly entertained by all of this, but he's not. He doesn't seem like a spy or anything, unless he's really playing you, which he could be. But
like, I've noticed some weaknesses in his technique. Would you care to place a wager?
Oh, you want to bet against Skog? Oh yeah, you buddy. Yeah, so you get to talking with him, and he's easygoing, kind of. Yeah, he's easygoing. He seems to have a lot of friends, or at least acquaintances here. People know him, come up and talk to him. They share drinks and talk about matches they've seen, that sort of.
Yeah, I'll continue to be. I mean, I'm not really the consort type, but keeping him engaged just to see.
Yeah.
And I think I will place like, I don't have any money on me, but I'll I think the offer like a wager, like, when Skog loses, you will owe me a favor.
Favor? Oh yeah, sure. I don't mind that. And when Skog wins, you'll have to. Well, I'll take that arm. He points to your left arm.
Fair.
Cool. Yeah, let's cut back to the others. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you go through the docks and you're into the fish market, and they are cruising along as they have moved on to kind of like a highway. It's like a traffic route that's above the most of the buildings. It's a bit raised, so they're clearly not going to a place nearby. They are just traveling through the fish market. And you will need to go up there as well if you want to follow them, because otherwise you'll be below, you can't see them, that whole thing. So you're up there as well. They go through. They're cruising along fairly fast. They're not breaking the speed limit. They're not. They're driving a bit sloppy. Like when they pass someone, the Aqualicious who aren't driving, they're like making the equivalent of flipping people off. They're making Star Wars rude gestures and clearly having a good time hanging out on this fast speeder. Rick is just sitting there. He's in the passenger seat in the front, not joining in any of that, just sitting very very passively. Yeah. So I think I want another role here for you, following them, like keeping up and not being noticed. You want to roll finesse again?
I think that seems appropriate. You got any devil's bargains for me?
Ooh. You have a suggestion?
Well, of course, there's always the cops are involved. There's, let's see, other devil's bargains. Another person who knows our crew recognizes us going by. That's fun.
I have a suggestion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You'll have to stop and disguise the vehicle by scratching it up or wrecking part of it.
I mean, it's not going to happen. So that's a good idea, but that's a hard no.
Who's your rival?
My rival is Captain Tebbs of the Garrison Patrol.
Oh, well, fancy that. I think they are out. The garrison is out doing a patrol on this highway. And they are going to, I mean, you can tell that the way they are driving and the direction they are going, they are heading for the exit to the Warrens, this Aqualish group. So you know where they're going. You're not going to lose them. But you get pulled over, and Mola is there and kind of hassling you for a bit. So you're going to lose sight of them for a while.
That kind of obviates the role. It's interesting, but doesn't it obviate the role? Because no matter what I roll, that interrupt changes.
I think the role is more for not being noticed than for staying on their tail, because at this point you know where they're going. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, that works. All right. Finish the driving. Part 2. 5 and a 6, so 6.
6, nice.
They have no idea.
You were in a risky position, but you do it. You can see that the New Republic. You see they come in, lights flashing, and you can see Mola, and you know she's going to pull you over. So you can fall behind a bit so that they don't notice anything going on. The Aqualicious, they just keep going, but you can tell where they're going.
I look back. Oh, guys, it's Karka Tebbs. She knows this vehicle.
So as soon as you pull over,
as
soon as you pull over, Rook is like, sucks for you, and heads off and heads, I guess by foot or however quickest way I can, in the direction where the Aqualish were going to try and catch up with them. And I'm like, I think I yell out loud, "No fare's worth that."
Winger, do you stay with KZ or do you go with Rook?
Feel free to go with Rook. I'll catch up when I can. You should maybe go with Rook. She gets in a lot of trouble. She's not really smart.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks.
So Rook and Winger, we'll get back to you. KZ, yeah, Mola, she sees your passengers bailing. Kind of, well, taps the window, I guess, and oh, KZ.
I was
fancy
following all
thing.
the ordinances. Come on. I'm trying to earn some creds here. You lost me my
Yeah.
fare.
Yeah, your fare didn't seem to be too happy to be pulled over.
Do you blame them? I'm not too happy to be pulled over. I'm right in their shoes, except now I'm here.
Yeah, a bit suspicious that they get that antsy just because we show up. They should be happy being protected here by the New Republic.
Yeah, they should be. It's a shame. I mean, if you want to go after them, don't let me stop you.
All in good time. Let me just do a quick inspection here, and she just it's clearly just for show. She's just messing with you, but she takes a good time, like checking all the boxes and that sort of thing. But you keep your vehicle in top shape. There's nothing she can really write you up for, and you weren't speeding, so she has to let you go. But it's just it's a bit annoying. So you've lost sight of the Aqualicious, but you know where they were going. You can catch up to them, but you'll probably have to speed up a bit to be sure to catch them. Meanwhile, Winger and Rook, you're on foot. You will have to catch some kind of vehicle, probably, or some sort of transportation to not lose the Aqualicious. You can either try to find something here on the highway. It's quite busy. Vehicles are moving fast, but you can try something. Or there are like stairs going down towards the normal. Well, ground level is weird, say on Coruscant, but let's say ground level and try to find something there. What do you want to go for? Or do you have a different plan?
Do you have
So-
your rocket? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just say, like, do you have your Mandalorian rocket backpack thing?
Oh, fuck no. No. So I think we have two choices here. Either that would have been spent long ago. Either you can try to convince someone to let us hitchhike along in the right direction, or I can try and commandeer a vehicle. So, do you want me to see if I can't just grab a vehicle from somewhere?
I like that better.
Awesome. I'm not going to steal a car, a speeder itself, because that'll get me put in the pokey. But I think if I can find something like, oh, that I'm going to see if I can't take like a motorcycle or something, like that's parked somewhere. Start looking around for, this would be like a speeder bike. I'm looking for one that's in kind of crappy condition, needs repairs.
Like on
and I
Endor.
Look to see if I can possibly find one that has the keys left in it, or that would be easy to hotwire and take off with that.
Yeah. There are like people dump stolen vehicles. You can definitely find something. There could be something someone has just parked. Yeah. What do you want to roll this with?
I love the idea of finding someone, people have dumped, stolen vehicles. That sounds great. It's sort of like the equivalent of the scooters that they leave around in cities nowadays.
Yeah.
So I think this is gonna be tinker to hotwire it and get it started again.
Sure.
I'm gonna
Yep.
assist. Like I've got tools or parts or maybe even like a pre-made hot wire kit or something like that because I get free assists on jobs.
Yeah.
Ooh, fantastic. Okay, so let me roll that. I got a 6.
Nice, you do it. Yeah, you find a speeder bike. This has definitely seen better days. It was old and used before someone took it for a joyride, but it's easy to get it started and it works. It doesn't have a lot of fuel or charge or whatever you would use in Star Wars. I'm not sure, but it will. You can drive it for a while. It's not going to cause you any immediate problems unless there's something wrong with it that you don't know. But now you have a ride. So you are on the tail of the Aqualicious. KZ is going to catch up to you probably, but he's a bit behind.
As soon
We're
as
almost
KZ,
yeah.
as soon as KZ's done, I hope he'll check in and I'll be like, okay, this is what happened and this is where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take our second break.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Winger and Rook, you are trying to stay on the tail of these Aqualicious on your stolen speeder bike. I want to see a roll for this because there are things could go wrong here. I think you're still in a control position. They don't know anyone's following them. KZ will be in a risky position when he tries to catch up because he's been spotted a couple of times now. I think that's where we landed with that, right? Yeah, you took the risky, but you are still controlled. So who's driving, or who wants to roll?
Well, before I scream like an Ewok, I was thinking maybe that there might be some sort of like urchin or somebody that actually has been like messing with these and trying to learn how to fix them and stuff like that. And like I catch them out of the side of my eye as we zoom off or whatever, maybe as a future NPC or something. But no, I'm pretty sure I'm the Ewok screamer. So you slay the road, Elliot. Or Rook, sorry. I'm looking at Elliot's character on the far left
Yeah,
of
so
my
you
character.
want me to drive while you scream, is that right?
I can do it supersonically if you'd like.
Ooh, that would be even better because then some people would swivel their heads to watch if they can pick up that. Yeah. Sure. This is probably finesse or prowl.
Finesse is driving vehicles, so if that's you can definitely roll finesse.
Let's see.
That's a 6.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't roll
Yeah.
that.
Oh, it said
I didn't roll that.
Was
Is it
that
a last
That's
roll
the
by
last
Rook?
roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah, I'm still trying to
Oh,
figure
yeah.
out how I can get. Do you have a devil's bargain?
Yeah. I mean, this speeder bike is not in great condition. It's going to conk out, and Casey will have to pick you up. So you're losing this vehicle, but you're not losing sight of them. So you'll just be back in the one vehicle.
Yeah, no problem. That sounds perfect. Okay, so that gets me a die. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
roll that. That's a 3.
Ooh.
3 in a controlled position is not too bad, actually. You can try again with a risky position, or you can withdraw and try a different approach. I think withdraw here would mean that you would have to get a different vehicle, probably difficult, but you could do it, or just let KZ pick you up. Try again with a risky position. I think at that point you're noticing that, oh, there's a vital part missing here. You're starting to spew smoke, so you're more noticeable. That's why it's risky.
Or the lack of the ability to brake, like it just keeps
Yeah,
running
yeah, yeah.
So I think I'm going to take the risky position.
Cool.
Yeah, but I still need to.
You still
Winger will
you
give
have the
us-
same you have the die from the Devil's Bargain still. I think that's how that's supposed to work.
Okay, Winger. Basically, I think this thing is about to catch on fire. So I think I slow down and I tell Winger, put out that fire or cover it up or something like that, so that maybe we can get a little bit better. Yeah,
I'm an astromech droid. Got it.
that's right.
Yeah.
Will you help?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. It just costs you a stress, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
I'm gonna
get
roll
2 free
dice
per
this time.
job. So
Oh, yeah, you have the free assist. You were prepared for this.
Oh, nice. Okay, so let me roll that. That's a 6.
Nice. Yeah.
I think as we get wherever we're going to go, that's whenever the speeder catches on fire, right? And we have to just like ditch it. It is burning.
Yeah. So you get to the off ramp down into the Warrens. You see where they're going, and you're like just stuttering along at this point. This speeder bike is going to crash. That's when KZ catches up to you. You have seen where the Aqualicious are going. They are not within sight, but you know what direction they're going. You will be able to pick up their trail again. That's when KZ comes and picks you up. Yeah, does that seem fair?
Yeah, that sounds great. And Rook is like, I think I roll the speeder bike into some place like an alley where it just lights up the place, but it's not gonna like start other cars on fire or other vehicles on fire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy better be worth it, because I'm just saying, this is not easy.
Yeah, and the Warrens, this is like the extremely crowded area. Buildings are on top of each other everywhere. There's a lot of people. I think I have a picture here that I like for the Warrens. I'm going to share screen for no, I can't. But I can send the link. Maybe Rich can get it. I don't find the sharing, please.
The sharing for the character keeper?
No, I just wanted to show an image from Pinterest. I put the link in the
Oh, sorry. It says all participants can share. That's my default.
Can you share it, Rich?
Yeah, I can. I will happily do that.
I just don't see. Oh, now I see it. It was green, so obviously I didn't see it because it was different from all the others.
That's a cool pick.
That is a really
Yeah.
cool pick. Yeah.
So that's kind of what it looks like. It's just things.
it's like
piled on top
Kowloon
of
Wall
each other.
City just forever.
Mhm.
Cool. So that's what you're going into. KZ, you pick up Winger and Rook. They point out where you should be going. And they have been going in, like, if they are going somewhere in particular and not just driving around, which they don't seem to be, then they went from Emerald Grove through the docks, through most of the fish market, which is like going west. Now they're going straight north through the Warrens. it seems like they were particularly avoiding going into the security sector, like SecSec, where most of the cops are, where all the like government stuff is. So it seems like they're trying to stay away from there, because if they were going somewhere this way, they should have just cut straight through there if they were going the short route. And now they seem to be turning into you can catch up to them, or you know where they're going. They are going into the foundry. So now they have gone basically like this, just to avoid going straight through. So I think I want a final roll here to see if you can catch up to, like spot them and see what's going on before they leave the vehicle, if that makes sense. Since you are a bit behind them, you know roughly where they are and where they're going.
Would this be a good use of sense?
Sense can work, yeah, absolutely.
Because you had kind of described it as intuition, or maybe
Yeah.
well, there's actually a right here. I should just look at
Yeah. Guesswork, trust your intuition, instincts, gut feelings, insight into the motives of others. So yeah,
I like that.
sense can absolutely work.
Okay.
Or you can use finesse for driving, prowl for moving unseen, probably a couple of others that could work. Study, survey, maybe. Hunt. But I think KZ is the one driving, so I think KZ will be making the roll. Unless you want to make this I don't think this is group action, but someone can help.
Everybody has sense. Good gracious. I didn't realize that.
We're a very sensible group. That's why the government has hired us.
Sensitive, not necessarily sensible.
It's true. Everyone has sense. We all
I do
have
not have sense.
You don't have sense.
have-
You have sensibility.
I have interface.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, should we rename that on our sheets then?
Yeah.
No, that's just for me because I'm a droid.
Yeah, it's not set up for people to have different skills. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, droids
Oh,
don't have sense. They have
yeah.
Done.
I think it shows up in the sense there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, KZ, what do you want to roll for this?
I feel like I keep hitting the same bar over and over, but finesse. I kind of bought up the finesse thinking that's going to be my default for driving. So
Yeah. I mean that's fine. It's not a problem.
Okay, cool.
You're in a risky position because you have been following them for a while now, as we established before.
Okay. Is there a devil's bargain out there?
I think. Don't have one off the top of my head. Does someone want to suggest something? Oh, actually, you have a nice vehicle. Unless someone stays with it, it's not going to be as nice when you pick it up again. If you just park your nice land speeder in the foundry and not have anyone keep watch over it, someone's going to do something.
That sounds appropriate. I'll take it. Oh, thank goodness that third die was a 5. I needed it.
Oh, dang.
2 1s and another number is my style.
Yeah. So you do it with a consequence. I don't think there's anything here that would push your position to desperate. Harm doesn't make sense, so it's a complication or reduced effect. I think what you see, I think you're going to get reduced effect unless you resist it, which is that you spot the Aqualicious driving away from a building. You don't see Rick go in there, so you're not entirely sure if that's where he is, but you see them driving away. You can resist that if you want.
I would like to resist it. I am good at tailing people.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to use my resolve for this.
Cool.
Because it's you know, intuition and
Mhm.
knowing people and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Do that.
Okay, I take a stress damage, but that's okay.
Yeah. So you take a shortcut, which means you gain some you gain on them basically. So they don't you turn around the corner as they have stopped in front of what looks like you're into the foundry now. So now we're in this area with big factories, big warehouses. There's and the foundry isn't just that. There are people living here as well. It's very working class, blue collar area. Lot of crime here, as is there is in almost all of 1313. But it's more, it's not as crowded or as quite as miserable as the Warrant. So they have stopped at what looks like it's a dilapidated building. It looks abandoned, some sort of warehouse. They have stopped in front of it. They help Rick unstrap these cases, and then they drive away. He walks into this warehouse with the trucks, pulling them behind him on these hover sleds. So yeah, I think I want to cut back to Elliot. So the main match is starting. Skog is he's tall for a Gamorrean, but he's a bit more lean and muscular rather than just a big pile of Gamorrean as some of them.
Mhm.
And he's facing a big pile of Gamorrean. Even taller, huge belly, and big beefy arms, really long reach. Skog is not quite as big, but a bit more, bit leaner, clearly a bit faster and lighter on his feet for a Gamorrean again. And they're doing like their warm-ups, they're being introduced. There's a conferencier down there, also Gamorrean, and that's this guy who is on the entities tab, whose name is Lerp Schloss. He's introducing Skog and whoever it is he's facing, and he needs a name now, and that's Algorp. I will put that in the chat. It's not my names; it's the name generator. It's really good for Gamorreans.
So good.
Yeah, so they are getting into it, and yeah, Zeldek is turning to you and see
Mhm.
that Olgarp, he's going down. He's going to he has no chance against Skog.
Double or nothing then?
Oh, you want to lose both arms?
I can afford it. Can you?
2 favors to a droid? Yeah, I think I can afford that. And he's getting pretty sloshed. He's slurring a bit, and but he's having a grand old time. He's really enjoying it.
Where are we in relation to the ring? Like, are like the seats up against the fence, or is it like stadium
You
seating?
are like not the front the very closest, but you're like one level up. You're at the
Mhm.
at the front of the second level, and then there's a third level for like people who aren't really interested, who are mostly there to just do other things. But you have good seats. You have a good view. He was here early, and
Mhm.
so of course so are you. So you've got good seats. You got a good view of what's going on.
Cool. How does the match go?
Yeah, let's make a fortune roll. So I will roll 2 dice. High means high is good for you.
Okay.
Let's see. Ooh,
Mm.
I think 4 or 5. Yeah. So I think this is clearly something where they're doing like a wrestler. Here they're doing a pro wrestling finish where there's like a disqualification because someone, a third fighter, rushes into the ring and just starts wailing on both of the others with. I want to say steel chair, but maybe not that. But they've grabbed one of the like you're sitting on these like short benches. He's grabbed one of those and
Right.
just starts wailing on people. So they call the match off, and clearly this was a planned thing, but
Mhm.
the crowd is entertained. The Gamorreans start almost getting into fights with each other with the people who were cheering for different fighters.
How does he take it?
Oh, too bad. I really wanted your arms.
Likewise. But since we are um, since we are bound by our love of sport, maybe we should go somewhere else and continue our conversation.
Ooh, that will need a roll because he's pretty happy here.
Yeah.
So, and this is definitely risky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's make it desperate.
Oh, you're pushing to desperate to
Yeah.
get increased effect?
And it sounds like this is a consort, so I'm definitely gonna have to push myself.
Yeah.
So that's 4 stress, or
2 stress. Yeah.
how do you
2
switch?
stress for pushing, and you're trading position for effect.
Oh,
like
trading
you're
position for
really,
effect, right.
you're really pushing for this
Yeah.
in a way that will arouse his suspicion. It's like
Really
you
sweating
just
oil
met
and
each other.
bullets. Yeah.
What if I, instead of, I don't think I'm jovial. I think I put my hand on his shoulder and like, you should accompany me so we can settle our bets somewhere else and go for command. Not so
Yeah,
chummy.
sure. You can absolutely do that.
A little bit more intimidation.
Things will go badly if they go badly, but
Yeah. That's great. Cool. Let's wait a second.
So you're at 2 dice, right?
2 dice with increased effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how it goes. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, desperate and a 1 and a 2.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
the worst outcome. Yeah, they will kick you out of there, and you will get a good kicking on top of it because you're bothering one of their favored customers, and
That's like a level
you
3
have
harm, right?
credit. Sorry.
That's like a level 3 harm, right? For desperate.
I think we'll keep it at a level 2 harm because you're also getting kicked out. Actually, it's 2. Let's keep it. Let's say No, I think this is all one. No, you're getting kicked out. That's one consequence, and they will bash you around a bit. That's another consequence. So it's two different things.
I'd like to resist some of that.
Mhm.
So does the kicking begin inside or outside?
I think it like inside they're just being a bit rough as they escort you out, and then because they don't want to beat up people in front of
Right.
the customers, but once you're outside, they will let you have it.
I'd like to resist. Well, no, I won't resist getting kicked out. I think instead of marking armor, I would like to mark a weapon to as armor. Would that be okay? To like instead of getting beat up, be like, actually,
Yeah, that works. That works. In this situation, pulling a gun on them, that's going to make them
and I'm
back.
going to mark it a large, unusual weapon. So it's like it's not just a pistol; it is like some weird like spinning barrel like short range multi shotgun kind of or blaster kind
Oh
of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
might walk away,
when they see
but you will
that,
not.
they like, "Arr, yeah, just leave and we're square, okay?"
You're more round than square, but agreed.
Take your strange droid humor and leave.
I wasn't being funny.
They know.
Yeah. Cool. So you're out of there. Let's get back to Winger, Rook, and KZ. You've seen Rick walk into this abandoned warehouse, pulling the cases behind him, or the trunks. What's your next step?
So
since
we should just
since it
continue
worked so well
watching,
the last
right?
time, yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
since it worked so well the last time, I think the two of you can keep watch. I'll walk around the building to case it a little bit, and then I'll see if I can't do the same thing I did before with the room, and you know, take the same little recording device or little video device, and see if I can't find a good place to place it.
Well, I'm going to say now, you've already spent your surveillance equipment. That's set up at the room, so you don't have yours anymore. One of the others could check that off on theirs, but yours is spent.
Okay.
I give you mine. I definitely give you mine.
Yeah, cool, that works.
Okay.
That's just
or
to
you could
like
do it.
keep the load and the equipment meaningful. It's
Yeah.
Once you've used it, and if you had like brought it with you, that would have been a different thing. But yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Cool. So yeah, think around, case it a bit, see what's going on, and then set up the surveillance. Yeah. Do you want to roll Tinker? Was it last time?
I think it was Tinker last time. I'd like to get other people involved. Do one of you want to like check out the place, and then I can roll Tinker to get it set up?
You could do this as a group action. Maybe not. Maybe Tinker doesn't make sense for that, but you could do like a group action for like watching, setting things up. Could be Tinker, but maybe leaning more towards
Like a stakeout roll.
Yeah.
Are we still in control, or are we at risky now?
I think you're in risky now, because now if something goes wrong, it will actually go wrong. You can't just back off and try something different.
I could lead a study group action.
That would be fine. I have no study.
I could lead a survey group action.
That would be fine. I have no survey.
I have a survey.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm fine trying it, and I can even push myself to do so.
I
I'm
mean,
just
Stephen,
saying-
you get 2 dice. You get to roll 2 dice when you have no dots. So
Yeah, it's even better.
I could lead a prowl group action.
I have prowl.
I also have the prowl.
So we're focusing on not being seen. So I'm going to go with prowl.
Okay. We can get devil's bargains, but we can't help each other. But we could push
Right.
each other.
Yeah. You can push yourself, you can get devil's bargain, but you can't aid each other because you're already doing that through the group action.
If we can do a devil's bargain, how does that work? Would it be one for each of us or one for the group since it's group action?
If you can get a devil's bargain just for you to get an extra die on your roll.
Mm.
Or you could do like if we're doing a bigger devil's bargain that would affect all of you in a more substantial way, then it could be a die for each of you.
Are we at limited effect, standard effect?
Standard effects.
Okay.
I will note that if you're all participating in this, then you're leaving Casey's land speeder unattended.
Oh,
Yes,
what you think,
that's,
Casey?
That's y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. Unless Rook gives him the look that like now we're doing this, he's going to try to beg off and stay by the car.
Got to keep the engine running.
Yeah, I'll get y'all out.
Okay.
Does Rook give him the look, or are you guys doing just the two?
I
of
give you a sour look, but it's fine. We do need a place to a way to get out. It's fine.
Yeah.
So it's you and me,
Cool.
Winger. Let's do it.
I got a 6.
Okay.
Nice.
And this is prowl.
Yes.
Okay. I also
2
got a
sixes.
6.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Not a crit, but
Oh, if you'd had the special ability, what's it called, synchronized, then you would have had a crit for this. But no, you don't.
wild.
But still, you do it. So yeah, this is big abandoned warehouse. There's not a lot of stuff in there. It's empty. Some like a couple of abandoned crates, that sort of thing. And Rick is going in there, pulling these trunks, and he is meeting up with a couple of other droids who are clearly led by the other droid on the NPCs tab, K3PX, who looks superficially like a standard protocol droid, but he's got a hefty blaster that he's carrying around. He's got some sort of heavy weapon on his back. He's packing, and so are the others. And this is like a mismatched group of droids. There's one like big hulking sort of industrial carrier droid. There's an old battle droid, one of the Rogers, who's been heavily modified. Like his head has been replaced, and one of his arms is completely mismatched with his body or their body. And they're all armed. And Rick is walking up to them. And you have the equipment set up so you can record whatever is happening here. And
I think we'll send a message back to Elliot and say, hey, this is kind of where we are and what we're doing. How's it going on your end?
Perfect.
Good. Okay. We'll let you know if there's any issues we need to talk about.
Likewise.
so I think
Likewise.
you catch the conversation between these, or actually, I want to ask you now, do you think that you will be content with just recording whatever's going on here and then just backing off and delivering this as you've done your job? Or do you think you'll be interested in continuing to see what else is going on here?
Well, I mean, I'm super curious about a, droid mafia and boxes bigger than, most trucks can handle. But
So-
it doesn't, I'm not going to drag everybody else into that.
So my take on it is, I think the importance to me is that we see what's going on so we can do the job, right? We got to get paid. If there's a chance where like they open up crates full of money, that might be worth us burning our contact and just taking their money. It's worth a chance. But it would take some personal involvement where they open it up and inside the crates are like, other gang members or, people that are important to us. Okay, yeah, then we'd break the contract and, money wouldn't do it. But otherwise, I think the main interest is, for me, is to do the job.
Anyone else?
What about you, KZ?
Casey's down for whatever gets us paid.
Cool. I just want to feel out a bit for next session. But I think this will probably be interesting. I hope it's interesting, but it may be something that you want to dig deeper into. Just so I will be set up for that, because we're kind of at the point where I want to end the session, and we're not going to finish everything if you dig deeper. If you back off here, then we're kind of at the end of the job. But we don't need to make a decision now. I just wanted to feel out a bit which way you were being.
That's a good question, Anders. The job was to keep track of Zeldek, which we have done, and Elliot's got him covered. Is this keep track of? I assumed that the job was to keep track of him until he left, which the job isn't over yet.
Yeah.
And our job technically was not to get in touch with Zeldek. We could mess with Rick all we wanted, right? I'm just saying. But I wouldn't think the job would be done until Zeldek leaves.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking is that Zeldek, and I don't think this is too much of a spoiler. He's not doing a lot. Is like it's what's happening is happening with Rick. But you're still interested in digging into that, then I will plan for continuing with that next session. But I think we're not going to finish that today, so we'll end this here and do some XP and stars and wishes. So we'll do XP first so that we don't forget. And if there was something that happened last session that you didn't, also if you have a trigger that you fulfilled last session but you didn't fulfill this session, count it for this session, because we did a little bit of play last time but not a lot. So yeah, we're doing XP for both sessions in one chunk, if that. So let's start with the crew, because I'm least certain about the XP triggers there, if they make more sense, but we'll see. So I will go through them. Did you successfully complete the score? No, because the score isn't over. Did you contend with challenges above your station?
I mean, we're tier 0, right?
Kind of feels like it.
Guess so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're at least on the outskirts of something that's bigger than you are. So I'm gonna say yes. Did you live up to your reputation or use it to your advantage? And your reputation is that you're ambitious. I think so, with like looking for you're at least feeling out the opportunity for doing something bigger than just what you've been told to do. I think that fits. Did you develop the inner life of the crew?
Not on my end.
There's that brief bit with Brooke and KZ at the hotel, but really, really brief.
Yeah, I think maybe that's more their personal thing. So I think that may.
Oh, wait, we're doing both sessions. We definitely had some of that in
Oh
session
yeah,
one.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We did more of that at that point. We talked a bit about how you came together and all of that. That should definitely come. Did you develop the crew's relationship to other factions? Here, I'm going to say no. I don't think so. You weren't really in touch with anyone. Did a crew member make a sacrifice for the good of the crew?
I could have by leaving my speeder behind, but did not. Sorry, folks.
We kind of left you behind whenever you got pulled over by the cops. That wasn't a choice. That was us just leaving you.
True.
But yeah, I don't think that would count. Yeah.
No, you didn't really suffer any consequences. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a big sacrifice or a sacrifice for Casey.
Yeah, it was a complication. It wasn't like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's 3 XP for the crew. That feels kind of fair to me.
Yeah.
Check those. Then we'll go in character keeper order. So KZ is up first. You want to go through your XP triggers so I'm not just talking all the time?
Okay. Since I can read, I will do that. Where are the questions? There they are. Did you bring your background into play? Empire. I feel like I did maybe last session, but not so much this session.
Yeah, but we're including last session in this. So
Okay.
yeah, if you feel like that came up, then check that.
Yeah, I feel like he brought up the whole Imperial stuff, and he's also bragged about his land speeder, which is an Imperial land speeder. I think there's some...
yeah. A lot of like in the background stuff we talked about, and your connection to Molotevs as well, which we've showed out a bit here as well. That was founded in the Imperial stuff, as I recall.
Did your vice or trauma hinder you? I don't have a trauma. Thrills and pleasure didn't really hinder me, so I think no. Did you develop your relationship with another character, PC or NPC? I think we got our first glimpse of Tebs and Kavi, so I think Kavi for sure. Less Tebs, but we did see her, so I'm going to say yes on that because of Kavi. Did you improve your personal situation? No.
I don't think so.
Did you approach a problem with style or devil may care attitude? Also no. Did you approach a problem according to your crew's idiom, which is... Oh, that's interesting.
Did you approach a problem with deception or stealth?
Yeah, we did the hotel thing. That was pretty deceptive.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 XP.
Yep. Which I think is, let's see, that's enough to increase an action rating, but not enough for a special ability.
That's what I see too.
Cool. I will move on to the next one, which is Rook. Want to go through yours?
So mine are, did you bring your background into play? I don't think I did this. My background is military, other, which is Mandalorian, or labor. I don't think I did this session, but last session I definitely went to the Mandalorian Enclave to talk to them.
Absolutely.
The next one is, did my vice or trauma hinder me? I haven't dealt with my devices yet. My trauma is haunted, and I don't think that came into play last session or this session. My next one is, did you develop your relationship with another character, PC or NPC? And I think the relationship with KZ in the hotel and checking in and that kind of stuff was part of that. And then next one is, did you improve your personal situation? And I definitely don't believe that's the case. The next one is, did you approach a problem with cunning or distrust? And I think so, in the way that we checked into the hotel, or whenever Drur started questioning us a little bit, it was immediately like, yeah, we're a couple. We've been here before. So,
Yeah.
does that
Cool.
sound okay?
Yeah. I
And
think
then
sorry. No,
go ahead. I was just going to go to the next one.
Yeah.
And then the cruise, did you approach a problem with deception or stealth? And specifically tailing Rick, I think, was the stealth and deception that we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Elliot.
Let's see. Did I bring my configuration into play? Assassin. I don't know if I
Yeah, whenever you
did.
pulled the guns on him instead of armor.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
guess so. I'll take that. Did my advisor faults hinder me? I don't have any faults. Did I develop my relationship with another character?
NPC, yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I did. NPC. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I did not improve my personal situation. Did I approach a problem by employing my specialized skills? I would have if the match was going bad, but I did not. Did I approach a problem according to the crew's idiom? Yeah, I think so. We did the espionage stuff. I'll take
Yeah.
for that.
Cool. And finally, Winger.
My backgrounds are droid and labor, and that's pretty much the entire first half of the session.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Yeah.
I was pretending to be a droid inspector, and that I get along with labor. No advice for trauma. I mean,
You developed a relationship with your informant in the docks.
oh, right. Last session counts. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Did I improve my personal situation? I think Rook improved her personal situation, but then it caught on fire. So it was a very brief personal situation improvement. Did I approach a problem with calculation or planning? I think I showed a lot of planning. And then stealth and deception, pretty much everything I did as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can take a 0 to a 1, or I can keep on holding on.
You can take any action, but to a max of 3.
Oh, okay. It's not level times a number. It's just 3 per dot.
The level is how many advances you have taken overall. It doesn't matter if you take the 3rd action dot or the first one. Either of those counts the same.
Oh, advances. Got it. Times advances, not new level. Got it. So used to other games doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will consider that. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. So stars and wishes. Let's go in reverse order. So Kai, you get to start. Let's split up stars and wishes. So let's do wishes first.
Wishes.
Before I completely lose track of things because I'm getting a bit tired. But
yeah,
sorry, wishes.
I'm pretty certain this is already the truth, but like, I want whatever's in those boxes to be like undeniably interesting for us specifically.
Mhm.
I'm not saying like River Tam needs to be in the box, but like, you know,
Well,
something.
you know they're in like foot cube cases with power
Right.
readings on them, so it's going to be something.
And I'm looking forward to finding out how, when we get paid, like how I move out of my hovel, like what I have to do to get that done. Because I'd like to like know how easy or hard it is to do that.
Yep.
Those are my wishes.
Cool. Mark.
Wishes do I have? I don't know. I really like being in a situation that was not a shooty situation. I had to kind of pretend to be a human in a little bit. That's kind of fun, but I'd also like. I think I like both. A situation where I can do some harm to some humans.
Yep. Yep.
Otherwise, yeah, and just find out what the deal is with our robot friends there.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Steven.
I'd kind of like to see that what Rick and the other droids are doing, how it could dovetail into something that Elliot wouldn't be a fan of or would make a different choice than the other three that are there
Mhm.
because Elliot isn't here, right? So we'd be acting without him, without them. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, and I think this is kind of a star, but my favorite part was the interaction with the other characters, and I think that as we move along, we'll see more of that. But that was probably my favorite part was interacting with KZ and with Winger, and I'll look forward to that going forward. Yeah.
Yes, and I think we'll have more obvious opportunities for that during downtime when it's not like, yeah, we need to do the thing, and you can just choose what you do. Cool. Rich, any wishes?
I wish that this mission end, not take the whole session. That session.
Yeah, yeah.
That's about it.
Yes. Any stars? Rich.
Yeah, I liked seeing Mark have the chance to flesh out Elliot. Some of the droid humor was pretty great. Quite liked that. Kai's description of Winger running around through the market was very like evocative in my head. I enjoyed Steven's portrayal of Rook, and I think Rook and KZ, I dig their relationship. That was a highlight for me, was having the two of them interact. I wish we could have had like circled back to it, but it was just not in the cards.
Cool. Thank you. Steven.
I agree. I think we'll see a lot of that development during downtime, and that'll be fun to see. We'll just have to remember to circle back to it. And again, I liked seeing Elliot's personality evolve basically, or come forward in what we saw on screen, where it was, I know they told us not to contact this guy. I'm going to contact him anyway, and I'm going to engage him and start messing with him and bet my arms, right? That was a big deal. And I like how Winger went in and was like, yeah, the man, right? We just got to do the job. Let me go do the job, and then it'll be okay. And with KZ, I'm surprised, and it makes a lot of sense how attached you are to your vehicle, right? So it seems like all we got to do is put that vehicle. You're just telegraphing that's the button we have to
Mhm.
press, right?
Uh-huh. Trying to make it easy and definitely broadcasting. That is a place to. That's a weak spot. Don't hit me there. Ow, ow.
Good, good.
Cool. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun playing the robot. I had no idea what I was getting into, but he was just like, I'm getting close to my target and seeing what happens, ready to do whatever I need to do, without actually not doing the job. It was really fun to watch everyone's the job was nicely set up, I thought, because there's a lot of different things for different folks to do. It was good to see everyone kind of like in their element and getting into and out of trouble and finding stuff. Um, yeah, so I had a great time watching that. Retroactive wish getting more face time with the other characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun to sort of see what Elliot's personality came out to be, just interacting with an NPC. So yeah, looking forward to exploring more of that too.
Thank you. Kai.
Well, I think I love and will give a star for the fact that once again, Rich is playing a character that has the hots for a Mandalorian. I think that's
Dang it! It's my trope.
he's mandosexual, I guess.
Ah!
Mandophile. I really liked the Gamorreans half naked slap ass because like little curious AF Winger's just like, oh, I wonder if that's cool. And I just everything I got to do from his point of view, which is rather amazing. For me, to be in character the entire time like that. I liked Rook teaching KZ like, hey, like you got to pick and choose those run in and steal from people instincts and stuff like that. And like how the mission was set up so that it, unless we made radical changes, we couldn't all stay together. I liked that. And just the whole like taxi cab thing, like, why would I pay that much? That was good stuff.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. My wish, which I forgot to say before, is maybe try to speed up the mission a little bit, because we got into a fair bit of detail. I think we could have compressed some parts a little bit. On the other, and I don't mean to skimp on the character interaction parts, but maybe not break it down into quite as many roles. I'm not sure. That's just it's something for me to think about, not something to definitely change, if that makes sense. And my stars, I think most of them have been mentioned, but I do like that it felt like you were smart about your approaches when you were taking risks. It was still like, yeah, this makes sense, and like you were acting as a crew of spies, I guess. It was a more calculated approach and more. And I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying that this fits with the kind of crew you have set yourselves up to be. That's what I'm trying to say. I think you're doing a good job of portraying what you intended, or what I felt you were intended to do. So yeah, that felt good. I am getting really mushy in the head now, so I think we should end this here, and I'll see you all next week.